Leo lived in a small town near a big forest. He loved to walk in the woods and explore new places. One night, while walking home late, he saw a strange light in the sky. It was not like a star or an airplane. The light fell fast and crashed somewhere. Deep inside the forest, curious and a little scared, Leo ran toward the place where the light had landed. The forest was quiet except for the sound of burning leaves and broken branches. He moved carefully through the trees. Soon he saw smoke and a small fire. There was a broken metal pod half buried in the dirt. Leo's heart beat fast. He didn't know what it was. The pod looked old but still had lights blinking on it. He looked around, but no one else was there. Then he heard a soft voice coming from inside. "Help." The voice whispered. Leo carefully opened the pod door. Inside, he found 3 young girls. They looked very different from humans. Their skin was pale blue with a soft glow. Their ears were small and pointy, like elves from stories. Their eyes were big and shining in the dark. They wore strange clothes that looked like thin, shiny fabric. The girls looked weak and tired. One of them, the tallest with silver hair, tried to speak. "We are from ... away. Our ship was destroyed." Leo blinked. "You're aliens?" he asked quietly. The girl nodded. "Yes, we escaped war. Our planet is lost." Leo felt both scared and surprised, but he also felt sorry for them. They looked like they needed help. "Can I help you?" Leo asked. The silver-haired girl smiled faintly. "Thank you, human. We need shelter and time." Leo looked around. The forest was too dangerous for them to stay. He thought of his old family cabin nearby. It was empty now and quiet. "Come with me." "I have a place," he said. The girls looked at each other, then nodded. They carefully got out of the pod with Leo's help. Their legs were weak, and they moved slowly. On the way to the cabin, Leo tried to ask questions. "What is your name?" the silver-haired girl said. "I am Zira." The second girl, with dark blue hair, smiled softly. "I am Thal." The third girl, shorter with green eyes, said, "I am Mina." Leo smiled at them. "Nice to meet you." At the cabin, Leo opened the door and helped them inside. It was small but warm. He gave them blankets and water. Zira looked around carefully. "Your planet is very different. The air feels strange." "Yes," Leo said. "It is Earth. You are safe here for now." Mina looked tired. She sat down and closed her eyes. Leo felt a little strange being with them. But he knew one thing: he would protect them. As night fell, Leo sat near the fire and thought. Who were these girls? What would happen next? Suddenly, Zira spoke softly. "We have a problem." Leo turned to her. "What problem?" She looked at her hands and then said, "Our species. We have a special time, a time to bond with mates. It is happening now." Leo did not understand. "It is called mating season. It is natural for us. But we are trapped here, away from home. This time will be very difficult for us." Leo looked worried. "How can I help?" Zira smiled weakly. "By staying with us." "By understanding?" Leo nodded. He did not know what was coming, but he would try. The night grew deeper. Outside, the forest was silent again. Inside the cabin, the 3 alien girls rested while Leo watched over them, ready for whatever was next. The forest was quiet as dawn broke over the trees. Liam and Arlia sat beside a small stream, tired but hopeful. They had escaped Kale's hunt for now, but the future was still uncertain. Arlia watched the water ripple and smiled softly. "We cannot run forever," Liam nodded. "No, we need to find a way to stop this, to live freely." They both knew the truth. Kale and the forces from Arlia's world would not give up easily. But together, they had found something stronger than fear, trust, and hope. Suddenly, a soft sound came from the bush. Liam stood quickly, ready to defend them, but it was not an enemy. A small group of humans from the colony appeared, carrying supplies and smiles. "We heard your call," one said. "We're here to help." Relief washed over Liam and Arlia. They were not alone. The days that followed were filled with plans and preparations. With the help of the colony, Liam and Arlia built defenses and gathered resources. They learned To move quietly and think strategically. Arlia's strength returned fully, and with it, her spirit. She was no longer just a frightened girl from another world. She was a fighter, a friend, and something more. One evening as the sun set in, fiery colors, Liam and Arlia sat together outside the workshop. I never thought I could feel this way, Arlia said, her voice soft. About a human, about Earth. Liam took her hand gently. Sometimes the strongest bonds come from the most unexpected places. She looked into his eyes, full of trust and love. I choose this life with you here. Liam smiled and pulled her close. And I choose you. Their world was changing. Arlia's past was behind her, and Earth was their home now. When Kale returned with reinforcements, he found more than just a girl to capture. He found a united colony ready to protect their own. The battle was fierce, but brief. Kale's forces were surprised by the strength and unity they faced. In the end, Kale retreated, defeated. Liam and Arlia stood side by side, watching the stars. The galaxy was wide and full of unknowns, but together, they were ready for whatever came next. Maybe saving you, Liam said quietly. Saved me too, Arlia smiled, her heart full. And maybe together we can build a future where no one fears love or kindness. The human and the alien had found more than safety. They had found each other, and in that, the universe felt a little brighter. The next morning, Leo woke early. The alien girls were still asleep, resting on old blankets. He quietly prepared some food he thought they might like. He had no idea what aliens ate, but he hoped they would accept it. When Zira, Thal, and Mina woke, they looked tired, but more alert. Leo brought them fruit and bread. They tried to eat but looked confused by the taste and texture. Mina smiled and said, Earth food is strange, but kind. Leo laughed softly. I'll find better food for you. The girls spent the day exploring the cabin carefully. They touched the wooden walls and looked at Earth objects with wonder. Mina found an old book and flipped its pages with curiosity. Thal stared at the window, watching birds fly outside. Zira sat with Leo and spoke slowly. Earth gravity is strong. It makes us tired. Your air is different too. We breathe, but it is hard. Leo nodded. I read about other planets. Earth is heavier than some. Your bodies might need time to adjust? The girls looked at each other with worry. Zira explained, Our planet had lower gravity. We are strong there. Here, we feel weak. Leo wanted to help but felt helpless. We can try medicine, he said. I will look for something to help you. Later, while Leo searched online, the girls sat together quietly. Suddenly, Zira took Leo's hand. There is more, she said softly. Our species has a special time now. It comes once a year. It is a bonding cycle. Leo listened carefully. Bonding cycle? Zira nodded. Yes, it is when we find mates. Our bodies and minds change. We feel strong urges to connect. Mina looked down. It makes us restless and confused. On our net, we find partners to help calm us. Thal added, but here, trapped and alone, it is hard. The feelings grow stronger each day. Leo frowned. Is it dangerous? Zira shook her head. No, but without help, it is painful. We need connection. To survive this time, Leo thought hard. So, you need someone to be with you, to help you. Zira smiled faintly. Yes, we need someone who understands. Leo felt nervous. He did not know if he was the right person. But he could not leave them alone. I will stay, Leo said. We will get through this together. The girls looked grateful. In the days that followed, Leo watched the changes. The alien girls' moods shifted like weather. Some mornings they were quiet and sad. Other times they laughed and shared stories from their home planet. Mina liked to play with Leo's dog, Buddy. Buddy was a small, friendly dog who quickly accepted the aliens. When Mina stroked Buddy's fur, she smiled more often. Thal started to open up. She told Leo about her planet's traditions. When we bond, it is more than just touch, she said. It is a deep feeling that connects minds and hearts. Zira said, it is like a dance of souls. Leo listened with wonder. He wanted to help, but he still did not fully understand. One afternoon, the girls began to show signs of distress. They sat together, holding their heads and breathing fast. Leo asked, "Are you okay?" Zira looked at him, eyes wide. "The cycle is stronger now. It is harder to control," Thal nodded. "Our bodies want connection, but we are far from home. It hurts." Leo felt worried. "Can I do something?" Zira smiled sadly. "Just be here. Stay close." "That helps." Leo spent the night talking softly to them. He told stories about Earth and his life. The girls listened and calmed. The next day, Leo brought herbs from the forest, hoping to ease their pain. He made teas and gentle baths for the girls, slowly. They began to feel better. The emotional storms passed for a while. Leo realized this bonding cycle was more than physical. It was about trust, care, and understanding. The alien girls began to trust Leo more. They shared secrets and dreams. They laughed and cried in his presence. Leo knew this was only the beginning. The bonding season would last for weeks. They would face many challenges, but for now, in this quiet cabin, far from the stars, a human and 3 alien girls started to build a fragile family. Leo looked at the girls and thought, "I didn't expect this. But I won't let them face it alone." He remembered Zira's words, "It is a dance of souls, it is powerful." Leo did not understand everything, but he trusted the girls and wanted to help them through. Late at night, Leo sat alone and thought about the future. He felt hope but also fear. What if the locals found the aliens? What if their home enemies came? He took a deep breath and said quietly, "I won't let anything hurt them. I will protect them no matter what." Back in the cabin, the girls slept peacefully. Their faces looked calm, and their breathing was slow. Leo smiled and whispered, "We are together now." Outside, the forest was quiet, holding its secrets in the dark. Life in the cabin was calm, but not without problems. Leo knew the alien girls were adjusting, but the world outside was not quiet. People nearby had started to notice strange things in the forest. One morning, Leo's neighbor, Mr. Harris, came by. He was a tall man with sharp eyes and a rough voice. He looked worried. "Leo, have you seen anything strange around here?" Mr. Harris asked. Leo shook his head. "No, I haven't. Why?" Mr. Harris lowered his voice. "Some people say they saw strange lights and heard noises. Could be animals, but it sounds strange." Leo tried to stay calm. "Maybe it's just the wind or forest animals." Mr. Harris frowned but left quickly. Leo watched him walk away and felt a knot in his stomach. Later that day, the girls noticed changes in themselves. Their bodies felt weaker and their moods were restless. Zira sat quietly, touching her forehead. "It's the bonding cycle," she told Leo. "It is getting stronger." Leo watched as Mina paced the room. She stopped and said softly, "I feel like I am losing control." Thal looked at Leo with worried eyes. "Our bodies do not react well to Earth's air and gravity." "We must be careful," Leo nodded. "We will find a way." He spent hours online, reading about herbs, medicines, and ways to help them breathe easier. He found some natural remedies and gathered plants from the forest. The girls tried teas and inhaled steam from hot water with herbs. For a while, it helped, but the danger was not just from the alien girls' bodies. One evening, Leo heard noises outside. Shadows moved between the trees. He peeked through the window and saw figures with flashlights. "They are looking for something," Leo whispered. He rushed to warn the girls. "People are coming. We must hide." Zira's eyes grew wide. "They cannot find us." Leo grabbed his old baseball bat and stood by the door. The figures came closer, shining lights near the cabin. Mr. Harris led the group, looking angry and suspicious. "Open up," he called. "We know something is here." Leo stepped outside, hands raised. "There's nothing here." "Please leave." But Mr. Harris did not listen. "We're protecting the town. If you're hiding something, we will find it." The girls stayed inside, trembling. Leo spoke firmly. "Please, trust me. There is nothing to worry about." After a tense moment, the group left but warned Leo to be careful. That night, Leo stayed awake, watching the forest. He knew they could not stay hidden forever. The girls' condition worsened. Their breathing became shallow, and their skin paled. Zira sat by the fire, whispering softly, "We need help soon." Or we may not survive. Leo felt helpless. He wished he could do more. He decided to build a small device to help them breathe better. Using parts from old machines and tools, he worked for days. The girls helped when they could, teaching him about their technology. Finally, the device was ready. It gave the girls filtered air, making it easier to breathe. Mina smiled for the first time in days. "Thank you, Leo." But the trouble with the locals did not end. Rumors grew, and more people began searching the forest. One afternoon, Leo found footprints near the cabin. They were fresh and big. Zero looked outside and said quietly, "They are coming closer." Leo knew time was running out. The alien girls could not stay hidden forever. He also noticed the girls' moods were more intense. The bonding cycle was reaching its peak. They were more restless and needed comfort. Leo spent more time with them, holding their hands and listening to their fears. "I don't want to hurt anyone," Mina said sadly. "But this season is hard," Zira nodded. "On our planet we have mates to help. Here we have only each other ... and you." Leo felt the weight of responsibility. He promised to protect them no matter what. One night, a storm came. Rain hit the cabin hard and thunder roared. Thal collapsed, weak and trembling. Leo rushed to her side, wrapping her in blankets. "Stay with me," he whispered. Thal looked into his eyes. "Thank you for saving me." Leo held her close as the storm passed. The next morning, the sun shone again. The girls looked stronger, but the danger remained. Leo knew they needed a plan, something to keep the alien girls safe and help them survive the season. But outside the cabin, the forest was no longer a safe place. The searchers were growing bolder, and Leo worried what would happen if they found the aliens. He looked at the girls and said, "We have to be ready for anything." Zira smiled weakly. "Together we will face it." Leo took a deep breath. The hardest part was yet to come. Leo worked day and night in the small cabin. He wanted to send a message to help the alien girls. They needed their people to know where they were. Maybe rescue was possible. Using parts from the broken pod and old electronics he found in the cabin, Leo tried to build a signal device. The girls helped, explaining what to do as best as they could. Zira gave instructions in slow, careful English. "It must send a beacon," she said. "A call for help." Leo nodded and focused on the work. He connected wires, fixed circuits, and tested the small machine. At last it was ready. "Are you sure this will work?" Leo asked. Zira smiled, though she looked tired. "It must. It is our only hope." That night, Leo turned on the device. It sent a soft, blinking light into the sky and sent a signal through the stars. For a moment, everyone waited in silence. Then, far away in space, the signal was caught by another ship. But it was not their people. A rival alien group heard the distress call. This group hunted Zira, Thal, and Mina's kind. They were enemies from the war that the girls had escaped. Back on Earth, Leo did not know this yet. But soon, danger would come from the stars. The next morning, the girls looked worried. Thal spoke softly. "I fear they have found us." Leo frowned. "Who?" Zira shook her head. "Enemies, they will come for us." Leo's heart beat faster. He had hoped for rescue, but this was worse. That night, a heavy storm rolled in. Thunder crashed and lightning flashed. The girls were restless and weak. Thal suddenly collapsed. Her skin was pale, and she could barely breathe. Leo caught her before she hit the ground. "Stay with me, Thal," he said gently. Zira and Mina helped, bringing warm blankets and herbs. Leo held Thal close, whispering comforting words. "I'm here," he said. "You will be okay." Thal's eyes slowly opened. She looked at Leo with quiet thanks. The storm outside raged on, but inside the cabin, a small calm grew. Leo knew the bonding cycle was making things harder for the girls. Their bodies were weak, but their minds were strong. They needed care and trust. Days passed, and the fear of enemies arriving stayed heavy in the air. One evening, Leo looked up at the stars. A bright light moved fast toward Earth. The girls gathered by the window, watching. "It is them," Zira said quietly. "Our enemies." Leo felt a surge of protectiveness. "We will face them together." Suddenly the door burst open. A group of strange figures stepped inside. They wore armor and had weapons. Their faces were hard and cold. Leo stepped in front of the girls. "Who are you?" he demanded. A tall woman with sharp eyes stepped forward. "We are the hunters," she said. "You called us here." Zira's face went pale. "Please, we do not want to fight." The leader sneered. "You cannot run from your past. You belong to us." Leo clenched his fists. He was ready to defend the girls, but then the leader's eyes fell on Leo. She studied him closely. "You are human," she said, "but strong." Leo stood firm. "I protect them. You will not hurt them." The hunters looked at each other. Then slowly they lowered their weapons. Zira stepped forward. "We do not want war here," the leader nodded. "We will leave for now, but this is not over." The hunters left the cabin and disappeared into the night. Leo closed the door and breathed hard. The danger was still real. The girls looked at Leo with hope and fear. "We owe you our lives," Mina said softly. Leo smiled tiredly. "We owe each other." The storm had passed. Outside, the stars shone bright. Inside the cabin, 3 alien girls and 1 human man prepared for what was to come together. The days after the hunters left were quiet but tense. Leo knew the danger was not gone, it was only waiting. But inside the cabin, something new was growing, a bond between Leo and the alien girls. Zira, Mina, and Thal started to feel calmer. The pain of the bonding season lessened, and a new warmth filled their hearts. It was the connection Leo had promised to help them find. One morning, Leo woke to find Zira sitting by the window, her eyes soft and peaceful. She smiled when she saw him. "Leo," she said gently, "your kindness has healed. More than my body, it has healed my soul." Leo felt his heart swell. He had never felt so needed. Mina came to sit beside him. "You stayed when others would have left. You listen and understand." Thal joined them, her hand resting lightly on Leo's arm. "Our bond is stronger because of you." Leo looked at the 3 girls, their faces filled with hope and trust. He knew this was real. This was more than friendship. It was a connection that could change everything. The alien girls showed him their way of bonding. It was not only about touch, but about feeling each other's emotions deeply. They taught Leo how to listen with his heart, to sense their fears and joys. Leo practiced every day. Sometimes he closed his eyes and reached out with his feelings. He could feel the girls' thoughts and emotions, soft and clear. One evening, as the sun set behind the trees, Zira took Leo's hand. "Will you bond with me?" she asked quietly. Leo looked into her eyes. There was no fear, only trust. "I will," he said softly. Their hands touched and a warm glow spread between them. It was gentle and powerful, like the first light of dawn. Mena and Thal watched, smiling. Then Mina stepped forward. "Let me bond with you too." Leo nodded. "Yes, Mina." The connection grew stronger, wrapping around them like a soft blanket. Thal came last. She held Leo's hand tightly. "I need you now more than ever." Leo felt the deepest bond form with her. Her gratitude and trust filled him with strength. The 4 of them sat together, connected by more than words. Their hearts beat in rhythm, and their minds shared quiet understanding. As the bond formed, the girls' health improved. Their eyes shone brighter, and their smiles grew warmer. Leo felt something new, hope for their future. But the bond was more than healing, it was a promise. A promise to protect and stand together. One day Leo asked, "What happens next? Can, you go home now?" Zira looked at the sky. "We hope help will come, but now we have something precious here." Mina smiled shyly. "We have a family." Thal nodded. "And a protector," Leo smiled back. "Then we will face whatever comes together." Outside, the forest whispered with the wind. Inside the cabin, hearts beat as one. The alien girls and the human man had formed a bond that no enemy could break. The days passed slowly after the bond was formed. Leo, Zira, Mina, and Thal felt stronger together. The alien girls' health improved, and the pain from the bonding cycle eased. Hope returned to their hearts. One clear night, Leo was outside, looking up at the stars. Suddenly, a bright light appeared in the sky. It moved closer and closer until it became clear a large spaceship was landing nearby. The alien girls rushed outside, their eyes wide with hope and fear. "It's them," Zero whispered. "Our people have come." The ship landed softly in a clearing near the cabin. The air shimmered as the doors opened, revealing tall, noble figures dressed in shining uniforms. They moved with grace and authority. A woman stepped forward. She wore a silver robe and had eyes full of wisdom. "I am Commander Lyra," she said, her voice calm but strong. "We received your distress signal." Zira, Mina, and Thal bowed respectfully. Leo watched quietly but felt nervous. "Commander." Lyra turned to Leo. "And you must be the human who helped them." Leo nodded. "Yes, I have done my best." Lyra smiled faintly. "Your courage is known across the stars. You have saved lives." Zira stepped forward. "Commander, we are ready to return home." Lyra looked at the girls and then at Leo. "There is one matter to discuss before you leave." Leo's heart beat faster. "What matter?" Lyra explained. "You have formed bonds here, strong bonds. These are more than friendship. They affect your hearts and minds." Zira nodded. "We know. It is why we could survive this season." Lyra turned to Leo. "If you leave now, the bonds will break. This can be dangerous for all involved." Leo looked at the girls. He saw their hope and fear. He knew this was a difficult choice. Lyra continued, "You may stay on Earth and break the bonds, but it will be painful. Or you may come with us too. Their homeworld, where the bonds can remain safe." Leo felt the weight of the decision. To stay meant leaving the girls behind, breaking the trust they built. To go meant leaving his home, his family, and the life he knew. Zira took Leo's hand gently. "We do not want to lose you." Mina smiled softly. "Together we are stronger." Thal whispered, "Choose what feels right in your heart." Leo looked at the stars, then at the faces of the alien girls who had become his family. He took a deep breath and said, "I will go with you." The girls' eyes shone with gratitude and relief. Commander Lyra smiled warmly. "Then let us prepare for the journey." The spaceship's doors opened wide. Leo helped the girls inside, feeling a mix of fear and hope. As the ship lifted off, Earth grew smaller beneath them. Leo felt a new adventure beginning. He looked at the alien girls and smiled. "We are together now, no matter where we go." Zira squeezed his hand. "Thank you, Leo, for everything." The stars stretched out before them, bright, endless, full of promise. Together, a human and 3 alien girls started a new chapter, bound by trust, courage, and love.